don't know if people love Nami. Do people love Nami or hate Nami? Let me know in the comments. How's it going, y'all? Rowdy Riles back with a video. So today we are checking out in SH Figure Arts. We're gonna focus on one thing for a little bit, hopefully, and get this whole team out of the way. But I recently was watching One Piece Season 2 on Netflix, the live action. I haven't watched much of the anime. I've seen the first couple episodes, but that show really resonates with me. It was really emotional. It was such a good show. So I wanted to get these straw hats, and we are starting with Nami. So with all that being said, let's take a closer look at the figure, and yeah, let's just get into it.
Whoa, how sexy. I wish I had a secretary like her. Wait, I'm talking like an old man.
Looking at the front of the box, it says SH Figure Arts Nami. We get a shot of the figure and of course the figure in the box itself. On this side, we get a shot of all the faceplates, and there's one for Luffy. On the back of the box, we get more shots of the figure, and it shows off her accessories. Super modeling, super action. Open window, it says Nami. Top of the box, bottom of the box. And with all that being said, oh, I love One Piece Season 2. Made me want to get these figures. Alright, so here is Nami out of the box. She's a pretty solid figure. I was playing around with her, already did some photography. I'll probably do some more. But she's really fun to pose. Despite having spindly limbs, she doesn't feel like she's going to break or anything. So SH Figure Arts did a good job with this figure. She's actually really solid. And I appreciate that because Nami, at least so far, because I've only watched the live action One Piece. I haven't watched... I started the anime and Luffy was kind of a jerk. So I was like, yo, this is a little bit different. And there's a lot of stuff. So I'll just stick with live action for now. So I've only watched season 2, but as of season 2, Nami is my favorite character. She's great. So I was like, yeah, first figure from One Piece has to be Nami, even though it's the animated version. Taking a look at the details of the figure, she's really got a pretty plain outfit, and most of the characters in One Piece do, but we get a nice V-neck t-shirt, kind of V-neck t-shirt, not really, but the design is like a V-neck, and it's just a white shirt with some blue stripe accents, and then she's got an orange skirt with some red dots with some white around the side, and that is essentially her whole outfit from the current arc of One Piece on the live action. But this is the Romance Dawn Nami, so whatever arc of the show Romance Dawn is, that's the one that this is from. And then she's got her boots, toe articulation down there, got a couple of accessories going on. I wanted to make her look cool, and yeah, I really dig this figure. She's a lot of fun. One Piece is a great show. I haven't done a review on season 2. I don't know if I'm going to. Let me know if that's something you want to see. But I did watch it and I did really love it. So I just kind of want to get the main crew plus Chopper at this point. And Chopper's on pre-order right now along with a couple of others. So hopefully that's what I'm going to focus on right now is One Piece crew and get that little roster built. But yeah, I really dig this Nami figure, and I really dig the character of Nami. She's stubborn, she's you know, got her goal set and she's going for him, and I appreciate that. And she's also no pushover, so really cool figure, solid. I like her a lot. I don't have a lot of complaints other than the price and the variants of accessories, which we'll talk about. Checking out Nami's height. Where is the tape measure? Found it. She stands at about 5.5 inches. So not the tallest, All right, we are going to do articulation. Sorry, I need to adjust myself. All right, going over Nami's articulation, we are going to start, get this out of the way. At the head. Going forward, we got a lot of movement. Back, not as much. Her hair gets in the way, which is fine. Shoulders, we do kind of have like a pop-out feature at the shoulders so she can go down more. It's almost like a butterfly joint, but it adds to the articulation so it can go back like that, up about that far, forward to the side, double jointed elbows. We got the floating ball joints at the wrist. Torso articulation, she goes forward about that far, backward about that far, and then you add in the waist, adds a little bit more range forward and backward, not too much. Skirt definitely gets in the way, so she can't really kick her legs up. We get a thigh cut, double jointed elbows, but no butt kicking action. There's no boot cut, but there is a rocker and toe joints. So we do get a nice range of movement there. It's on a floating ball peg as well. So you can definitely get her in some awesome poses. And like I said, she doesn't feel like super fragile, like she's gonna break or anything, which is good. We don't want our $50 figures to break because so she was $75 on Big Bad Toy Store, right? So I was looking around. She was only $50 on Amazon. So if you're looking for, I'm sure there's other like import sites like Ami where you may be able to get a better price. But if you just want it next day, $50 at Amazon rather than Big Bad Toy Store at $75 and then waiting a week for it to get to your house. But yeah, it's still kind of expensive. And that leads us to the accessories because I feel like she should come with more. So the first accessory that Nami comes with, and this is like their excuse to jack up the price, I think, because it's a big old treasure chest. But it's just got like sculpted crowns, gold bars, coins, all kinds of jewelry, painted nicely in a very shiny paint, different shade than the trim on the outside. It's got a lock, it's got the wood paneling, all that stuff, sculpted nicely, but originally $75, and it's like you're including some stuff, but like not a whole lot. Like we could have had an effect piece for her staff that she comes with as well, which is just a plain brown piece of plastic. So it's not like they're breaking the bank on that either, but because it's a female character and people love Nami, I guess. I don't know if people love Nami. Do people love Nami or hate Nami? Let me know in the comments if she's like a liked character in the anime. I love her in the live action show, but like I said, that's pretty much all I've ever seen. I did have to refilm this first part of the accessories. I don't know what happened to it. It got corrupted or something. So yeah, those are the first two things that she comes with, and then we get a whole bunch of other tiny little pieces. We get 4 extra face plates. Technically 5, but we'll get into that. We get a happy face with her eyes closed. We get an angry face with her fighting. We get a really angry face, probably yelling at Luffy. And then we get a winking face with her tongue out. And of course, we get her normal kind of smiling face there. Whoa, Nami. Oh, it's focusing on April. Y'all, it's been a while. I'm a mess. There we go. So yeah, look, there's all her face sculpts together. That worked out perfectly. Then we get 2 open hands. We get 2 fists. We get 2 bow staff holding hands. And then we get a finger pointing hand. And that is it for the accessories. Like I said, we don't get a whole lot for the price, which is unfortunate. But this was definitely the best option for Nami. There's another company doing One Piece stuff from after the time jump as an action figure, but in her bikini, and it's not in the same scale, but I was like, oh, that's interesting. I feel like the guy that wrote One Piece is kind of a gooner, but he's like a cool guy, but like he's just like, let me draw these women all scantily clad and sexy with big boobs on purpose. And it's what, well, yeah, obviously I like Nami, not because of that stuff, but because she's an awesome, strong female character doing her own thing in One Piece. But there's one last accessory that she came with. It was an extra faceplate for Luffy, which I have Luffy doing a video on that too. It's this grinning face, and I just put it in there with the box to keep it all together because he doesn't have it on, but it's cool. I took some photography with it, so I'll probably throw that in here along with in the Luffy video. But that's all her accessories.
Please save me!
What hell? I thought you came here to save me, you spineless chicken!
Speaking of Luffy, here she is right next to him. As you can see, Luffy is slightly taller, which is cool. So that's the only members of the Straw Hats that I have so far, but we're getting there. Here she is with SHF, Super Saiyan Vegeta and Goku, with SHF Power and Chainsaw Man, Sailor Moon and Detective Conan, CoverGirl and She-Hulk, and lastly with Rowdy Riles and Gun Girl. So you can see like some other 1/12 stuff. I feel like that is a decent cover, right? That's a lot of figures. So with all that being said, y'all, I will say that this Nami figure is expensive, but she's a good figure. Like, The only thing not worth it about her is the price. Like, she should have been 35 like Luffy. And I feel like they just put like a Nami tax on her. They're like, yeah, because like Zoro, you know, he comes with the alternate head sculpts with a bunch of swords and the sword in his mouth and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, charge a little bit more. You know they're going to. But Nami, really, with just the staff, and then you put the treasure in there so you can be like, yeah, that's why. But I still like the figure a lot. I want to get all the Straw Hats. She's awesome. She's my favorite character. Set up a little photo shoot here because I'm going to take a picture afterwards. But yeah, if y'all like this video, go ahead and smash like. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Become a channel member if you want to support the channel. It's 99 cents. Comment, let me know what you think if you've seen One Piece Season 2. If you want me to do a review of One Piece Season 2, how your day is going, just say hey. Do all that stuff. Keep your head up, stay brave, be kind to your local LGBTQ plus community. If you're protesting, be extra super duper safe. I love y'all. I will see you next time, and bye-bye.
Do you mind telling us why that thing's in your pants? Yeah.
Return to
Found a mythical Walmart end cap.
Ah, Morty, you're still watching this crap, isn't this? To review figures and toys and stuff, aren't you a little old for toys? Ah, geez, Rick, you know, I don't think you should call her a bitch, and I kinda like her videos, so maybe you should shut the up. Q, Morty. Q.